Let's go, man. Welcome back. One more Rivalry. Um, Summer's coming to an end, dog. And first thing I know we want to talk about today is college football is back, man. EA Sports gave us what we asked for, and
Yes, sir.
it's back. We've been doing a lot of gaming, man. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Happy that it's back, man. We was the last ones on the last game, man. So it's feeling like the passing of the torch, man. Happy that it's back. Excited, man. Glad to be able to play with the college teams again. And get the pageantry that's involved in it. You know what I'm saying? They did an amazing job putting the traditions of the team
Man,
on the beginning of it, man. So I think they did really well. Of course, there's some things that they can improve on. But they did a good job getting it back out, man. Over these few weeks that we've been playing. I think they said they made over 500 million. So that tells you the excitement and the joy that it brings to people.
man, bro, the feeling of the game when I saw Auburn just come out the tunnel, bro. I can't play with nobody else. We've been played a few games, exhibition games. I feel like I didn't got the best of you, but we'll talk about that later. Um, Man, just coming out the tunnel, seeing the eagle fly, like you mentioned, the graphics, man, they give you everything you've been asking for, especially for fans, you know what I'm saying? And guys like us, man, who ready for the season to come back around. So, quick question, dog. What was your rating in the last one? 2010, you mentioned. No, was it 20? When was the last one released?
The last one released was 2014.
2014. We both was on that game. My rating was like a 68. I might have been fourth string. Um, Yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy, bro. It was crazy, bro. They gave me no respect, you know what I'm saying? But I was just happy to be on the game, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just to see that 24 with Smith on the back, meant a lot. What was your rating? Do you remember?
Yeah, my rating's pretty good actually, man. I think I was rated like an 89.
No, man, stop. Stop, bro.
Rated like an
Stop, G.
89.
Stop, bro.
Yep. Rated like an 89. What they tried me was on speed. I think I was just a 90 speed though.
What was you supposed to be in?
I should at least been a 93,
Bro, so you telling me your rating was an 89?
89.
I gotta do my research, G.
Go back to it, man.
That
89.
man, hey, they showed a lot of love. Well deserved though, man. Well deserved, bro. Yeah, dog, I'm with you. Man, definitely excited to see the game back. Been trying to get as much gaming as we can in. A few bugs, everybody knows what's OP right now, the spin move with Judkins from Ohio State. Um, I think the other running back from, is it Kansas State?
Uh,
Um,
this Kansas, yeah.
Kansas, all right. The other running back
Kansas.
from Kansas. Man, there's a lot of guys on there, man. The running back for Oklahoma State. Um, Obviously our guy that we can touch on, in my opinion, the best running back in the country is right on the plains. 27. I think that he definitely got his respect in this college football game. Love to run the ball with him. Um, I'm just, curious to see how that plays into the season.
Yeah, it will, man. He's gonna have to lead. He's gonna have to definitely be the main focus of the offense, man. I think we should play a lot of younger guys at receivers just to get their feet wet, man. Having that great class of receivers come in. I said, hey man, why wait? Throw them in now. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
And I him leading the charge on offense and being a run first team because that's what we had our most success at Auburn, being a run first team. If you look back over the years, and you had Cadillac and you had Ronnie, and you move into the Miles Down years, you know what I'm saying? Well, we had Michael Dyer as a freshman, then moving on to
Trey.
having Trey I'm about to say Trey Young.
Yeah, Trey Mason for sure.
Trey Mason and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Corey Grant and
Yeah.
and uh Cameron Artis Payne and just the list goes on, man. He had
Peyton
backs out
Barber, Peyton Barber, who doesn't get the respect, but just running backs in general, that tradition. I'm with
on
you. I'm
my
following.
teams was, and we were led by the run first, and we were one
Yeah,
of the top, not just in the conference, but in the nation.
but hadn't that been our frustration the past few years? Is we know what we should lean on when it comes to just running the football. Last year we talked about it. It was some games where 27 did not touch the ball, and we couldn't get the ball in his hands as much as he should have had it. Um, I think this year, bro, when I'm playing the game, bro, he touching the ball 20 plus times. And I mean from rushes, screens, however we got to get the ball in his hands 20 plus times. On average, dog, how much does he have to see the ball in reality this upcoming season?
Well, yeah, I think nothing less than 20 is what it's going to be.
Yeah,
What it needs to be for them to be successful. Probably between 20 and 30 times, like you said, finding ways to get him the ball, man. And so that there's so much of a focus on him that other people open up. And I believe he can be that bell cow guy. And I believe we have another guy that can come in and help with the bell cow as well in Austin. But I also like the guy that is Cobb, Jeremiah Cobb, man, who adds a nice flavor to it, man. A nice scat back type of stuff. Since we had the guy 21, man, that was going through some stuff, being shot, which is
yeah,
crazy and stuff, man. Just
definitely,
glad
definitely.
to get alive, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but we definitely, I think we're definitely as Auburn University as a talented school, have a lot of talent. And I believe that we are a next man up kind of guy. We just have to find that right guy to lead at the quarterback position. I think that's what's holding us back.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Quarterback position has been a stickler for us for a while now. It's been a pain point. I feel like even the times when we was there, bro. Just think about the controversy at quarterback from beginning to end. It was I don't think it was ever like a stable position. We went through some guys when you talk about Kyle Frazier, when you talk about Jonathan Wallace, Clint Mosley, Trotter, just that period. You know what I'm saying? To see where we are now. And it's been 10 plus years, but it seems like that's always been our thing, like lack of stability at the quarterback position. But that's why we got to lean, bro. We got to lean on 27 this year, bro. I'm excited, dog. We got less than a month. We less than 4 weeks away to some football. And again, I'm just ready to see kickoff.
Sir, it's gonna be nice, man. Who we got first?
Oh man, we have Alabama A&M first, I believe. Now, mind you, I ain't got the schedule right in front of me. I could be wrong. Um, we check into that. Why you saying that, bro? How did you feel as you checking into the schedule? How did you feel about recruiting this year, man? We had a strong, recruiting class, like we just mentioned. A lot of, you know, the country has been surprised, especially in-state recruiting. When you talk about
Yeah,
Alabama and Auburn, the way we've dominated recruiting, this year when you talk about top recruits in-state, man, how do you feel about the job, bro, that Hugh's doing and the entire staff?
man, I want to give a big shout out to Hugh Freeze, man. Hugh Freeze and the staff. They have done an amazing job recruiting. And at this point of college football, it's all about recruiting who's the best salesman, man. And I think we helped ourselves, not just because Saban retired or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? He's still around and stuff, but I think we did a huge help to ourselves by getting the facilities to match other top programs. I thought we had these facilities, we had just got those facilities basically when we was there, but after seeing like the new facility and how things work, man, it's a different level. And if I was a recruit, I would want to play there. And I don't see why a guy wouldn't want to play at Auburn, man. It's an opportune time to be at Auburn, man. If you ever been there or haven't been there, you will find out that there's no other place like it, man. The fans love us. They love us. And all they're looking for is you to love Auburn like they love Auburn, bro. You could be the worst player on the team. You could be the best player on the team. They treat you no different. And why wouldn't you want to play that? I've seen guys at other teams get death threats, bro, for missing one play.
Yeah,
Whether it be a field or a tackle. I've never seen people at Auburn get death threats, bro. Never. It's a
I mean,
different kind of
death threats is far.
bar.
Death threats is far, but we both know Auburn fan base, and you can get some type of threat at Auburn if you're not playing up to par. We seen I have to contradict what we're talking about here. We seen a guy who got booed every home game once his name was announced. Which is that not the same thing?
Nah, that's not the same.
Why?
Nah,
Okay,
that's not great
so hold on. Let's package this up.
recruiting.
I just want I just want to make sure I'm here. All right, so we talk about, and I'm with you. The what we have on the plains, bro. In my opinion, unmatched. We talked about that, man. How much we love our school, but
And speak on the player who was being booed, so the folks know.
man, we had I wouldn't call his name out, man. That's just not how how I am.
I wouldn't know who
What
it is.
what I'll say is, man, we had a brother who who was a starting linebacker, our senior year. And, the fan base, even teammates at times felt like he wasn't playing up to par, putting us in the best position to win. Personally speaking, again, this how I feel. But it came to a point where every home game, when you announced the starting lineup,
Was it a single digit or a double digit number?
it was a single digit number.
Okay.
And every home game when our starters were announced, the fans will boo him. And that's what you would get. You would get, and you're starting linebacker, boo. You would hear that from our fan base. So I say that to say this. Say that to say this. Other schools, we're talking about Bama, I believe. When you talk about the kickers the past few years, they've received death threats for not being up to par. That's definitely a lot and extreme. But at Auburn, if you're not playing up to par, the fans will definitely let you know about it. Am I wrong?
That's one in how many years?
I've never seen it before. I've been a fan of Auburn since a kid, and coming to
My
games, coming to practices, or whatever the case is. Never seen it.
my point exactly. And I just think that the fan base is on a different level. It has to take a whole lot to get to that level. And it's not like he just missed a tackle when they scored and they won the game. And not, oh, boo, you know what I'm saying? It has to be something consistently like, dang, you know what I'm saying? For them to do that.
Yeah. All right.
And that's a very rare occasion. Very rare occasion.
Man, we want success, man. Everybody knows the Tigers. We looking for it. We expect it. We expect it. And I think again that started with 2010, the way Cam led our team, Nick Fair, a lot of other guys, a lot of seniors on that team. What they started. Now, mind you, Auburn had tradition before. We had tradition before, but since 2010, I think that fan base expects something different. Um,
Yeah.
and with that being said, we're waiting on it. We're waiting on it. I feel like we hadn't tasted it since Malzahn era. I feel like we really hadn't tasted success at all since. When did Gus leave?
Gus has been gone at least 2 3 years, maybe going on 3 years now.
Oh, it has to be more than that, right?
Nah. Hugh Freeze has done 1 year, and I think um man, I don't even remember the last coach before that name right now. But I
Harson?
think it's Harson. He had 2 years, and then Gus before that.
All right. All right.
Gus.
Well, I mean, again, I feel like the past 4 years, let's say 4 to 5 years, we haven't tasted anything close to that. So you know, we're definitely looking, as a fan base, looking to find ways to win games. We want something to be happy about, especially now with, as we both know, the departure of probably the greatest head coach of all time in any sport, maybe. I mean, would you compare Nick Saban to a Greg Popovich with the Spurs, or a what's the coach with the Bulls? Coach with the Bulls and the Lakers.
Oh, Phil Jackson.
Would you put Nick Saban in the same category as a Phil Jackson? Just the greats that have coached any sport.
Absolutely, absolutely. Bill Belichick, absolutely.
Facts.
Um, you have to, man. What he's done will never be done again on college level. As far as domination, as far as expected to win, like they're gonna win. Just take it away when people beat them, they rush field, they bring things down. That's domination, man. But even though
Yeah.
I didn't look at it, what I'm saying, that other school on the other side, let's get it.
Yeah.
But beat them, what I'm saying, it's definitely an accomplishment. So respect to the GOAT, but it's still forgetting them other guys over there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and speaking of that, another reason why, what I'm saying, not to get sidetracked, why he was so successful is because he recruited. Cannot stop recruiting, man. Once again, I want to give a hats off to Hugh Freeze, man. I've looked at a stat, and they said in the top 50 recruits that Auburn has had, top 50 ever, Hugh Freeze has already had 11 of those, and he's only been there a year and a half. He's already had 11 top of the 50 Auburn recruits. Top, he has 11. So in his 2026 class, man, he's done nothing but recruit the state, keeping those top guys in, man. They're staying here at Auburn and flipping guys that were going to other teams that we play, rivalries, and they're staying here and going to Auburn, man. That is huge. That is huge. We're competing amongst the better teams and in the South. Think about how many teams you got to go against, man.
Yeah.
Florida State, Miami, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Texas coming over. So they trying to lock down that state. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, like it's so many teams. Georgia, it's so many teams. Clemson, and we're keeping the guys out here at home where they need to be.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not an easy task, but we know why that task has become easier. Because of Saban. I don't think it has anything to do, in my opinion. If we were recruiting against Saban, I don't think we would see the same results. As far as this year, I wonder how many of those 11 are like top recruits from this class that we're about to bring in. Because I feel like, and again, I don't know exactly where we stand, but I'm hearing like we got a lot of top guys in the country, especially in state this upcoming recruiting class. And I know last year's class we competed well. We only lost Ron Williams in state, and I know that was the guy that you somewhat, I wouldn't say raved about, but you wish that we would have been able to pull in and bring to Auburn.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he's a game changer, man. I feel like he's a game changer. Just like I feel like Cam Coleman is a game changer. Some guys come in are just guys, and we need that. We need guys that come in and play right now and contribute. You know what I'm saying? Don't need a year he'll be good, or saying he didn't make a few plays. No, he's in right now making plays. And I believe he's one of those guys. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out of Alabama, man.
Yeah, man, the game done changed. Like you say, we need guys who can come in right now, and that's the expectation, I think, now with NIL, with just recruiting in general. Because if I'm a coach, we done talked about this before. I'm not really even going to touch the high school prospect pool as much as I go to transfers. That's just my opinion. Player transfer portal. That's kind of going to be the first place I go before I even go to the high school level when I'm looking for guys ready to go. Because, man, on average, if you go look, even at the Auburn head coaches, and you just go back the past 20 years, I bet you the average tenure of a head coach is probably around 3 years, 3-4 years. And Tuberville had probably 10 of them years, you know what I'm saying? But after that, most coaches just stay around for a few years. So they, it's on them to win games right now, man. So recruiting is as important as ever. We both know that. I think that the task became easier once Saban left. So we don't have to, recruit against that other side as much. But yeah, like you say, hats off. Hopefully we can turn those prospects into some game changers, into some solid contributors. And hopefully we can keep them. Hopefully we can keep them, because I've only seen one guy transfer in state, and during that time it was weird, and that was Corey Grant, who was at Alabama, came into Auburn as a running back, but an in-state switch. I think you start to see that a lot more now with the landscape of college football. I feel like back in our day, bro, again, 20 years ago, 14 years ago, man, we was going to school, recruiting mattered, but my decision was just off the love of Auburn football. In-state, in-state school, just want to go to Auburn. Now it's more of a business. So I can see a lot of these guys, man, if they're not ready to rock and roll, they won't be around these programs long. So we will be able to keep these guys is another question.
Well, that's the landscape now, man. You got to recruit year round. You got to recruit year round, and you're not just recruiting the guys that are not there. You got to recruit the guys that are there still. So,
yeah,
tough. It's tough on college coaches nowadays, man. But one go out, one come in, man. It's just musical chairs, and just got to be ready to coach. You're behind off, and whatever's there, that's what you're rocking with. Because honestly, it's worse than NFL race.
I agree. With that, when you talk about not free agents, transfer portal, just recruiting in
Free
general.
agent.
How we feel about what Coach Prime is doing, has done, what they're gonna do going into year two, um, with the Buffs.
Be honest, man, I haven't paid a lot to them. Um, Kind of ready to just see, what's on the field, man, instead of all the off the field stuff. I get it, it's entertaining and stuff, but I'm kind of ready to see what the product they put on the field. Going in the year two, it should be a whole lot better. Um, in a different conference, I think the conference is fit more for them. The passing style, the Big 12 was always a lot of points, no defense type style. So it'll be interesting to see they compete. They played TCU in the first game, and they looked like they should have been in the Big 12 from the jump. So it's gonna be interesting to see, I would say, man. He's always working the portal, lost some, bought some in. I think them losing Dylan Edwards, the running back who scored, I think he scored like 4 touchdowns the first game.
Yeah.
I be a big hit, man. I thought he was a great player. Like I said, those guys that come in and our guys
Yeah.
came in as a freshman and scored 4 touchdowns off the rip, man. It just, that's what guys do. I play football, no matter what year I am. So
Yeah.
it's man, haven't really paid attention to what they bought in. I did hear they bought in a receiver from Vanderbilt who caught for 1,100 yards. Giving Shador another weapon. Want to see Jimmy Horn Jr. step up, take on a bigger role as a senior instead of just being a slot guy. Let's see him take on a more faint role as a receiver and a returner. I already know what to expect from Travis to be a dog, but I want to see him play all the games this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they monitor him. You know what I'm saying? As far as his plays, are they going to play him the same as last year, or was last year a learning year? Like, what I'm saying, let's tailor that back some. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to have to eventually make a decision. They're not going to let him play both ways in the league. It's guaranteed to go to the league
Are
right
we
now.
are
So
we sure? Are we sure about that?
sure about what?
Him playing both ways in the league.
He's not going to play both. He's not going to be able to play
Man,
both ways.
to your point. To your point, man. We'll touch on that. I want to touch on the good. I mean, not Gus. Damn. Edwards. Edwards leaving. I think for him that was a business decision. I don't know how much the scheme fit. You talked about a lot of guys, Horn stepping up this year, getting a receiver from Vandy. We know, in my opinion, I think we know they got the guys. What I didn't like last year, man, as a guy who just watching the game, the way that they set their offense up, man. I felt like they threw the ball and forced throwing the ball too many times last year. When you talk about attempts per game, I don't even know what it was, but I bet he had 35 plus attempts a game, damn near like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, which in college football is, and I'm not talking about just quick screen game down the field. If they're playing behind, I understand, but I'm interested in to see what the offensive play calling looks like, what the scheme looks like, the way they set their guys up this upcoming year. Because I definitely think losing Edwards was a situation where he felt like he wasn't getting the ball enough.
Yeah.
So, definitely interested to see what he does. He went to one of the Kansas schools
Kansas State.
in the transfer, so definitely excited to see what happens there. But I want to see what the play calling looks like offensively for Coach Prime. Defensively, we picked up the DC from Colorado, right? Auburn
Charles.
did. I'm excited to see how that play out. I'm excited to see how that hire plays out, and how it shakes out this season.
Charles Kelly, he's been around, man. He actually recruited me when I was coming out to go to Georgia Tech. Um, he's been around, man. He's played high level football. He's coached high level football. Been at Florida State, Alabama, um, Colorado, and Auburn. Went to Auburn, so I know that it's going to mean more for him. You know what I'm saying, to get things in line. You know what I'm saying, in order. So I'm excited about it. I know he can recruit. Know he can coach, and I think it was a great hire for us. So interested to see how he does. And yeah, man, I think we're trending in the right direction over at Auburn.
Oh man, let me. I'm just looking at some stats, bro. And when you look at defensively, I think Colorado came towards the bottom tier last year when it came to defensive stats. We both know it's not always, coaching. It's not always players. I think it has to be a great mix of how to place blame, on the defense. And as we just mentioned, I don't think the offense is putting them in the best positions last year. Um, but again, was this hire? Did Colorado more so part ways with them? And was it more about relationships? Obviously, you mentioned he has history in the SEC. Um, but again, I'm excited. I'm curious to see how it plays out, scheme wise, and more importantly, bro, do guys want to play for you? Do your defensive guys want to fly around, try to hit somebody? How much does it mean to you guys? Because shit gonna get rough, right? It's gonna get
Yep.
rough, and you're gonna have to have guys who not only bought into what you're saying, but collectively kind of want to play for each other and really got something about themselves as a team. So I think those are things I'm ready to see, man. The X's and O's, it's important, but do the guys want to play for you, and are the guys gelled together to make a true run and try and do something special?
Well, you
That's what
gotta
I'm ready to
have
see.
yes, you gotta have the players, and I don't
So
know
do we
Colorado.
have that now? For a few years, the past 2 seasons, we've been talking. We've talked a lot about the players, man. Is that excuse or is that conversation over? Do we have the guys this year to go out and compete?
Uh, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the guys that are in the secondary starting or on defense. I know we had thought that there was a couple guys last year on the defense that wasn't up to par, and guys end up getting drafted. So, it's just interesting to see what it's going to be. I do know that once you are going against the school that we go against, all the X and O's become irrelevant. You're gonna need some Jimmys and Joes. You have the best X and O's you want, but you go eventually need those Jimmys and Joes because they have Jimmys and Joes. Once we start getting those in, I think things will even out.
We got the Jimmys and Joes, man. We got them. We got them. And again, when we talk about the Jimmys and Joes, it just take me back to our 3-9 year. How many fans did you think, in general, said that Auburn does not have the Jimmys and Joes? And then the next year, like Gus Miles done say, the biggest turnaround in college football history with the same guys. Now, mind you, I understand we got Nick Marshall. I'm talking about defensively. Defensively, you had the same exact guys. Um, and again, like Gus say, biggest turnaround in college football history. So I think, it's not more so schematics, X's and O's, because I think Van Gorder had a great game plan. Something was off though. Just overall, the team dynamic, something was off. What would you try to put your finger on there with the 2012 Auburn Tigers that we went through when we was 3-9? Was it Jimmy's and Joe's? Was it X's and O's?
I think it was just either one. I think it was just a connection between the players and the coaches. I think at a certain moment, I mean, look at the games we played. We played Clemson and they barely won. What was it? It was 7 points, if that. Then I think we went to Mississippi State and lost a close game. And I think once we lost to them, I think it was just like, wow, we lost to Mississippi State and they shut it down. I think that's what happened. And I think they didn't believe in coaches' way of coaching. It was different. He had the league mentality, and we were college guys. We haven't had that before. You know what I'm saying? It's more coddling than college. Um, it's just different. He had that league mentality, and I just don't think we adjusted well to it. And the way he was talking to guys or whatnot, man, you got to remember that. These guys still kids, man. 21 and under is not somebody who's at home who has to, provide for his family and his wife and stuff. So it was a little different. But schematically, man, he was the best, man. Like I say, I take a lot of gems from Coach Van Gorder. He taught me football. So it wasn't that. It was just the connection between him and his delivery to us.
Yep, man. No, I agree. You couldn't have said it better, bro. Um, One of the greatest teachers I've ever been around when you talk about football at any level. Um, but which brings me to the point. What's the most important factor when you talk about a team, building a team? It's that dynamic. I think, in my opinion, You can have the Jim, you can not have the Jimmys and Joes and still compete if you have that dynamic between player coach. I think that's one thing Gus did well, bro. When the year we had Brian Van Gorder, we had and Coach Chiswick was the head coach. When they let them that staff go and they brought Malzahn back, one of the first things he did was call all the seniors in. And we was, a part of that conversation. And it was a players-led team. I think that he believed in us. We in somewhat definitely believed in him in the offense and just the dynamic of respect. You like you mentioned, you still kids, you're going through a lot, you're trying to grow up, trying to find yourself. He knew how to control that, which I think makes him one of the greatest coaches, just like a Saban. I think again, that's one of the most important factors is what's the dynamic between coaching staff and players that's gonna help us win ball games.
I cannot put Malzahn up there with Coach Saban.
That's all you got from that, bro. What you
Right.
That's all right. Look, I'm not saying they both tier one, but I think I think so from a player coach dynamic situation, do you think that Malzahn in some sense had his pulse around that team with the staff that he created?
Were we able to relate and kick it and walk and talk to Coach Malzahn? That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying kick it and relate to him. I don't think you have to necessarily relate to. It's going to be very few head coaches out here that they can relate to the guys who are actually playing, the guys who come from, underrepresented, underprivileged communities, the dogs on the field, in my opinion, your Floridas, whether it's Alabama's, Georgia. I don't know if they can relate to them really. But understanding, I guess in some sense, but more so understanding how to encourage that, how to motivate it. You didn't see Malzahn talk to us like other coaches in previous years may have talked to us.
Yeah,
I think he had a pulse of our team and understood how to lead and guide young men. I'm not saying the same as a Nick Saban, but he's a great coach and I think understands how to do that. Which brings me to UCF. Um, I think that's going to be one of the most surprising teams of college football this upcoming season. When you talk about Jefferson, the pickup from Arkansas, coming in, gonna lead at the quarterback position. Running backs they have Malzahn calling the offense. I think UCF is going to be a team to look out for this upcoming season, and I see them getting in the playoffs. And one game I got marked on my schedule is the UCF Colorado game. I think it's going to be a great one down at the bounce house. I think that's what they call it.
Yep, they coming down at the bounce house, man. It's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be a really interesting game. So we go see,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Out, man. Of course, them moving to the Big 12 down UCF. That is, if they went out, they guarantee will be in the college football playoff. But I will say that Cole Malzahn will lose a game he ain't supposed to lose. He has to get over that hump. He has to get over that hump.
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of it. It's a part of it. Anybody can lose any Saturday. I think that's what makes college football great, football in general, NFL. Um, if you go out, your guys ain't focused, bad week of practice, you could get beat. Look at what New Mexico State did to Auburn last year. Um, that was a game that we definitely did not expect to lose, and we got embarrassed at home. So, curious to see that matchup this year, man. It's matchups now. I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see Auburn in the rematch with New Mexico State. New Mexico State is going to be a better team this year. Is that a sure win?
Yes, sure win.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, we're focused. We're
All
focused. It's a
right.
sure. Thought it was gonna be sweet. It was crazy that the coach from New Mexico actually had beat Hugh Freeze the year previous at Liberty. So he has a number. They'll be way more focused than they were last year. So yeah, it's a sure win.
Oh man. All right. Well, I hope so. I hope so. Definitely don't. I don't want Hugh Freeze or the players to have to go through what they will have to endure if they lose to New Mexico State again. Um, it could get very ugly on the plains if that was to happen. Um, but yeah, man. Again, college football is back. from the video game, college football 25 to the season, bro. So definitely excited to get back to it, man, and ready to talk some ball and watch some college football on Saturday.
Let's get it. We back.